What is up, Unity community? And thank you so much for joining us for our next and official Unity live stream here on twitch.tv/Unity and the official Unity YouTube page. My name is Jackson. I'm one of your community managers responsible for all of your live stream content. So thank you for joining us as we wrap up the grand finale, the epic conclusion of NetCheck Part 5 here today. And we will be showing off what we've done. We'll be going all the way back to go all the way forward to show everything that we have put into converting our game to multiplayer. But of course, we couldn't do it alone. Let's bring in the head honcho, the leader of our squad, our fearless coffee sipping son of a gun. What's up, Thomas? How are you today?
You know, this isn't how I pictured my life. I thought I'd go to bed late, wake up late, make games for single players only, but for some reason they put me on this netcode.
I didn't realize we were doing monologues. I guess technically I did one when I started. So
I don't know what I'm doing with myself anymore. Hi everybody. I am so excited to finish this video game. If you don't know who I am, my name is Thomas Winkley. I'm a technical marketing advocate here at Unity Technologies. For some reason they think I am fit to give workshops. And we are going to finish building our game together. But we can't do that without some very special friends. So I think it's time we bring them on. If we can cut to the guests.
We need them all.
Boom. Look at that.
We were kidnapped to be here. We were driven, like Jackson said.
You're here against your will.
And then
but
Thomas
of course,
gave us that.
Well,
it was a darker room and Thomas was drinking something else.
We, of course, are resuming the summer of Esteban. Welcome on in, Esteban. How are you?
I'm very good, dude. And yeah, we've been held hostage, but no. Thomas has been a very gracious host. It's been fun, you know.
Gave us our own rooms.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
I slide pizza under the doors.
Dude, and varieties of pizza, like
yeah.
It's incredible.
Different toppings every day. It's great.
Yeah.
This is not how you make multiplayer games, by the way, y'all. Don't worry about it.
We have brought back into the fold Kirk. Of course, Kirk, you were away last week. We brought in Joy to come and hang out. Did you do your homework? Are you caught up? Do you know what's happening?
Y'all have notes? Can I borrow notes? I don't have notes. Actually, while I was gone, I spoke out of college, and I was consistently like, hey person, are you going to study for these finals after my talk? Do you want to go to the cafeteria and get ready for the party? No, I did my homework. It's ready. I'm ready to jam.
Yeah. Okay,
so,
good.
And then after this, we can go to the library and study for our finals. So.
Good.
Nice.
Did you invite all of the people at your talk to these live streams? Are they here hanging out with us today?
There's some. Yeah, shout outs to my educator community. I did announce this to my educator community, so shout outs to all the great teachers who are teaching Unity. They
Awesome.
are, some of them should be here.
Yeah, and a shout out to everybody watching right now again on Twitch and YouTube. We see you. We're here. We're chatting with you guys. So fill up that chat if you've got questions, comments, suggestions. If we run into a problem and you want to help us problem solve, that's what it's all about. Of course, we're seeing a ton of conversations, questions. It's great. I would encourage you to keep your suggestions, your questions to the topics that we're actively discussing. If you hop in and ask for an explanation of something completely unrelated, it's going to be very challenging for us to switch gears to give that the attention. I'm sure there are online resources. If not, there's a ton of community spaces out there. Feel free to check out the Unity Discord or discussions pages. They have great resources and a wonderful sense of community for people to come in and answer those questions for you. Again, whether you're watching on Twitch or YouTube, what I would love to hear from you is what are you playing right now? What are you playing right now? Of course, we will be finishing our multiplayer game. We are all excited about games, passionate about games, and I just want to know what you've been playing. And while you guys ponder on that very deep question, we've got some things to shill.
We do, absolutely. Let's start shilling, if we might, with my stuff, because I feel greedy today.
Get into
So
it.
if you are a student and or educator, do you know you get access to a whole bunch of cool stuff from Unity for free? So what you can do is go to the link in the chat. I think it's !student. I might be wrong. But basically what that'll get you is access to the Unity student plan. I think we have a slide we can show you. And with that, you actually get access to the Unity editor, of course. You get access to $80 worth of Cinti assets. You get a whole bunch of packs. You get Odin for free. That's the serializer, inspector, and validator. And then you also get a 20% stackable discount on the Unity Assets store. Now, this is on top of sales. So, as an example, if you're out here like, yo, I want to go and buy this asset, it's on sale for $10.99, you'll get 20% off that $10.99 because we want to make sure educators and students have access. Now, with this pack, you do have to be attending like a high school or a university. We don't have this for those that are just learning outside of those institutions, but that's what we're focusing on. So please check those out. You've got unity3d.info/netcheckstudent to get access to your benefits, and we highly recommend it. Now, the other thing I think we need to talk about is coming up in I think it's only 3 weeks away. It's actually incredibly close.
It's kind of scary.
Unite. It's very scary. There's so much work to get done in the next 3 weeks.
Oh, dang.
Unite in Barcelona.
Ooh. Yes. Unite is happening in Barcelona from September 18th to the 20th. Come for a multi-day adventure in everything Unity, including a very exciting keynote, a ton of different presentations, a lot of information, and a wonderful opportunity for you to meet and greet your fellow devs and aficionados. We will all be there on site in Barcelona. And if you see any of us, please come and say hello. It will be fantastic to meet some of the wonderful people that we see in chat, especially those of you who are here every week. If you are here and have been for the last 5 sessions, thank you so very much. If this is your first one, hey, thank you just as much. If you want a little piece of Unite, but you can't make it all the way to Barcelona, we will have some YouTube and Twitch live stream coverage with more details to come. I think we are working on hammering out the details of that schedule in the next week or two. It's coming about quick, so we are trying to get that information finalized, but we've got lots of opportunities for you guys to get involved with your community here.
And if you're going to be on the ground at Unite, it's worth noting that our good friend Esteban is going to be speaking about multiplayer development, of course. If you're students there, I'm going to be there with Kirk, and we've got student specialized sessions. So I'll be doing sessions on prototyping using student assets. Kirk is doing a panel on career growth and options. We'll also have times to network with us at the booths. And Jackson doesn't know this yet, but we are going to just show up on his stream. Like, he thinks he can keep us out, but we're just going to like bust the walls down and come on. So
I want you to, quite honestly. Also,
okay. There you go.
Well, my biggest fear is we got to get the best of the best of the best content, and I know that you guys can bring that energy. So, like, you're welcome.
So just me and Thomas for the whole time.
That's it. We're gonna have 3 hosts, and what we're gonna do is, as people walk by, we're just gonna do live commentary, people watching. And we're just gonna be like, wow, so what you're seeing now, what you're not seeing is someone in a purple scarf has walked by, and it's just gonna be that for many hours.
Can I shout out one more person from the show?
Absolutely.
We should shout out Code Monkey on YouTube, because if you're trying to get those student assets and you're getting free stuff, he made a video recently. I'll send it to the producer to put it on the chat, but something about assets and tools for free. I think it's like his 4th video.
It's really good.
It's really good. And he made a couple of games with the free assets. So I just
I released a video this morning doing the same thing.
Ooh, I'm gonna send these links to our producer, and maybe we can put them in chat. So, Shazam.
Anything else that we want to shield? Thomas is shield, Kirk shield, I've shield, Esteban. You got a whole summer named after you, but if you want to shill anything
You're all
specifically,
too kind.
if you want to shill support for F12s, I think Skydriver on the Twitch chat would appreciate that.
Right, so
keep calm and press F12.
I'm
when
on
you're
a different
developing. There you go.
keyboard and a different desktop today. Should we risk it today?
No, I don't want to risk anything. We're in the
Wait.
finale here. I don't want to risk
Alt F4?
anything.
Is that what you said? Hold on.
Don't. No.
Don't do it.
All right. Before this gets too wild, let's pull up Unity and talk about what we've done and what we did last week. So last week we handled network collisions. So basically making sure that when our foods of choice, at that time it was only glizzies, just throwing hot dogs, when they hit the enemies, right, they would die. And I believe we handled the enemy despawning as well on the stream, right? We despawned the enemies was the last thing we kind of sorted out.
If I remember correctly, yes. And but then part of the homework was okay, killing off the zombies in one hit. I mean, that's okay, it works. But you know, what if we want to like, what if we want to like do HP or something like?
Yeah.
So there we go. That was part of homework as well.
Yeah. So if we jump up to the editor, I can show y'all kind of where we landed here. So here is the game, of course. Here's our scene, and we've got, let's hit play. I do have it muted just so that I don't have to hear zombies spawning endlessly. And there's a couple things we really had to focus in on. You might notice also that we're using a different version of Unity. We'll tell you about that in a minute. But
Very special version.
so we pop in as the host, and enemies are spawning. Now the vampires, if I hit them with a hot dog, they go away. Notice though, I can now switch weapons.
Cool. Is that a pizza?
It's supposed to be a pie.
Oh.
The pizza weapon I didn't set up in this port because there's like, it's like one pizza that explodes into slices, and it felt complicated. We also got wave progression working again on the multiplayer side of the house, and that's actually really important to talk about. Having wave progression, that was something we had to network in so that the other objects would follow. So notice that enemies are dying, but things are spawning and continuing. So we'll talk about how we kind of set all of that up. And I think the first thing we should talk about is Esteban, should we talk about the HP situation? Is that the first thing we want to talk about? All right, let me find that HP script really quick, and I'll pull it up. And then if you want, I will give you control of my keyboard and mouse through Parsec.
Nice.
Whoa.
Thank you,
Magic
Parsec.
of
Like,
Parsec.
Thanks, Parsec.
that's been so awesome. Okay. Okay, so definitely, like one of the things we definitely had to do was the HP component was already a network behavior, so that was already inheriting. But what we did is that the current HP, in fact, let me see if I can. So I should have control, right? If I'm not mistaken.
You should, yeah, yep.
Oh, nice.
There you
we
go.
go.
Yep.
All right. So we definitely made the HP script inherit from network behavior. I believe we already had that, but this is what one of the changes right here. Current HP wasn't actually; it was just an integer, if I remember correctly. But we changed it into a network variable. Now for those of you who maybe have not seen this before, a network variable is a kind of variable that you tie to a script that uses the netcode solution to communicate the status of the variable to other clients. So if this is tied to a zombie that has this component, that means that is going to be owned by the server. But whenever you decrease, or the value changes, then you have a chance to also give a callback or give a message to the other clients that can subscribe to the change event. And this is what we're doing right here.
Now, before you go into that, there's a great question in the chat, and I want to make sure we cover this. So Hunter Tank's asking, so a network variable is a variable that communicates over the network, and I want to make sure I understand correctly as well. So when we do a network variable, that variable is replicated across the network, right? And that data is updated to all of the clients instead of being stored as a local instance, correct?
Exactly. So exactly. So it's kind of weird to think about it because technically, that variable is both. It's stored both on server and client, but the entity that has ownership in the case of the zombies, the enemies that are mostly server owned, is the server side. So even though both of them have the variable, the server is the one that has control over it, and the other ones, if the clients, if somebody, for example, wanted to cheat and no, I'm gonna from my end just straight up kill the zombie and said no. You won't be able to because the server has that control. And that also and that's why also like if you try to like cheat and move a player like magically from one spot to another, no, the server will like if it's owned by the server, like it'll bring you right back.
Yep.
So we so as I was saying, like when we're spawning the object, then right here we are subscribing to our current health value. So that means that whenever the value changes, we actually call this function right here, and we have the chance to if it's on the server side, like do whatever stuff, and if it's on the client side, do client side specific stuff. And you're probably wondering, why would I want to split that up? Because remember, if that health changes and you don't have ownership, but you're like the client, so on the client side, you could, and if the HP is reduced, that means that you got hit. So you could play like a particle effect on your end that doesn't need to be doesn't necessarily need to be synchronized, or play some effect, or change the UI, whatever you need.
Yep. Now it's worth noting that we didn't finish hooking this up. You'll see, right? So we got everything registering and set, but we actually don't have anything happening inside of this function right now. And that's because we were like, as we were working on it, we were like, okay, we got to pivot to getting a few other things sorted out. So this would be next steps to clean up, if I'm right, Esteban?
Nice.
Definitely. Yeah. Yep. Cool.
Okay. All right. I want to take a little bit of leader over here, Thomas.
Sure, if that's okay. I just want to jump into what we did on the dead side. So
Nice.
if it's dead, we're checking to see if it's the server, because only the server should be spawning and removing objects, right? So we're checking
Okay.
here. And then we're basically just removing this destroyed enemy from the spawn manager, and then we're despawning the object, and then we are sending this back to the network object pool, right? And we're sending in the original prefab key and the network object, which is actually just a network object that this is attached to. So we're sending all of that back, and that prefab key is how we get access to the dictionary, or it's a dictionary, right? That we're using that's cloning up from a hash table. Yeah, so we're sending that in. And then we're just playing we're playing the hit particle system, and we're playing an audio source, and that's happening everywhere because we want everyone to hear that. So there's that. And then from here, if we're not the owner, we quit. And then this is dealing with the player, which is something I was working on, but we ended up having to move on. So right now the players will actually live forever until we finalize that. And Esteban, I was going to tell you, I figured out the thing.
Nice.
We can talk about it later, but it was a very funny. We were just tracking the wrong object.
I'm excited for
basically.
this.
Yeah, it was one of those shower thoughts where I was like, oh. Okay, so that's HP. And that's what's happening to make the zombies go away, right? But if we go back into all of our scripts, let me kill the search here, and I'll show you kind of what I worked on as well. So if we go into our network behaviors, so we had to do some game state stuff. Well, I don't know about game state stuff is the right thing, but we had to basically sync UIs and figure out how UI was going to go client to client to client, right? And so in this timer UI networked, basically, first of all, we did convert that to a network object previously. And then we have this RPC that basically sets the timer visibility. And what that does is it's checking here. I think we covered this last time, but it's basically saying, hey, if this network variable of network timer complete is true, that means we don't want to display the timer on all the clients that are connecting. And so it'll automatically set this RPC to turn them off, right? It'll send this false. And then we have a start countdown that just starts our countdown coroutine. And all that countdown coroutine does is set the network variable that all of the timers are updating from. And then at the end of it, it turns off the display, updates the complete to true, and then it changes the game state inside the game manager. So this is the actual line of code I added right here. So this is actually when it ends, it's going to change the game manager to game running. And do I dare push F12?
We've learned our lesson. It's too risky.
All right, we'll just go to the definition. It's fine. It's fine. So inside the game manager, I did add a state called timer. And then basically we have this on server started function right here. And this is something Esteban turned me on to as well. So when the server starts, we are subscribing on network spawn here, and then we call this. So basically when the on server started function happens, start wave kicks off. And so it's just going to kick off our first wave. And if we go to start wave, where did I hide you? Start wave. You know what the hardest part of this job so far is trying to remember what we did on Friday. Oh, here it is. Okay. So all start wave does is it changes the game state to timer. because every wave should start with a timer, right? That's where things update. And so luckily we had already written logic to progress everything. So if we go to our change game state here, we have a switch statement. Basically, if it's the menu, we do menu stuff. We don't have a menu, so nothing happens. Timer, it's checking to see if this is the first run. If it's the first run, it's going to, and if it's not the first run, it'll just turn on the countdown timer RPC. And then it's going to start the countdown. First run is going to equal false, and it's going to break. So that's kind of what we're looking at here. If it's not first run, it just turns this thing on and then does this work. And then from there, it'll skip this enable countdown timer RPC, and then it'll jump forward. And then if we go to this enable countdown timer RPC, doop, 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 all it does is sets the game object to true. So we're just turning the timer on, which then sets everything up. So that basically sends a thing out to all the clients. They turn on, they start counting. And the reason we do it this way is because inside of the timer, let me go up to the timer. Doop, 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 doop. This is really like a lot of stuff hooked together at this point, y'all. Sorry. So let's jump to our timer UI networked, and we'll go to the definition. So inside of timer UI networked, what you can see is it's doing all the timer work. Where's my wave? Because the wave is what fires this stuff off, right? Let's see, wave canvas, wave manager. Here we go. Bloop. And then we go to the wave manager. Ugh. So inside the wave manager, it has update wave state, which is getting called. And so the wave state is basically saying if the wave number is 0, then you're going to initialize the first wave, and then you're going to change the wave state to running. Otherwise, you progress the wave. And that's what actually increments everything and sends all that data out. Ooh, great question from Hunter Tank. Esteban, you might know this. Can you do an RPC as a Lambda?
If I'm not mistaken, yeah. Because in the end, like, yeah, because wait. Oh, you mean like schedule a lambda or
like so like
yeah, go ahead.
Like where you do the function, I'm gonna do this wrong, but like function, and then you do like the little arrow buddy.
Like an anonymous.
Oh, okay. Oh, like I believe that like in the since C# lets you declare functions and define functions like that, then yes. So yeah, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as it has the as long as it has the little attribute, the RPC attribute. There we go, like the one you're showing, and you meet the requirements of the naming, which, yeah. It was a good thing to review that. Yeah, yep. It showed me it gave an error if you don't have a RPC at the end of the name. Yep. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, like you could do it like kind of like a lambda style syntax. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair question. I'm not sure how you would apply the attribute to it, but I assume you could just do. Could you do like the attribute here and then do the lambda?
I guess so. If the function is declared, but in the end, it's still a function. So yeah,
I think so. I would recommend.
I haven't tried it myself, but that's a good one. That's a good one. Yeah.
Yeah. I would say check that out. I would love to test it here, but I'm afraid it'll break what I'm trying to show off.
Yeah.
Because we want to make sure this works out. But I would definitely test it. Okay. So that's kind of what's happening. So basically, the game state's shifting. And then the last thing that's happening is the game manager network is actually just keeping an eye on things, because it does now have a count of enemies in the game. And basically when all the enemies are out of the game, it's basically just going to have a progression, right? So it's going to it'll be sent back to the timer, and then it'll just keep flowing through this wave. And that's how we keep things moving and waving and everything syncing. So that's kind of what we built out. I realize that's like a lot of like small code changes that we're trying to like run through really, really aggressively. But all of this code is available on GitHub once we merge everything with the Unity 6 transfer. That's what we did. So that's kind of the setup we got going. And because of that, now we have the waves working. They are synchronizing among all of the clients. The player positions are synchronizing. We can kill enemies. So the next thing we would need to do would be to, should we continue the stream, unfortunately this is the last one, is just get players dying, right? But otherwise, what we need to do now today is let's get this game working on the internet. So right now, everything we've been doing has been over localhost, right? We've been testing it locally, running a build and testing it, but now we have it set up in Unity 6, and we can actually start setting up the game to run on the internet. So Esteban, I believe, my friend, it's all you, buddy.
Can I interrupt? Can I interrupt real quick after some
you can.
Googling? You can't apply attributes to anonymous functions.
You
cannot. There you go.
You cannot.
Ooh. Oh.
Yeah, it's in the C# language spec.
There you go.
3.0.
Cool. Thank you. Yep.
Sorry, before we dive into today's work. So basically the plan for today, just to summarize for me mostly, is we finalize, we get through our last couple of processes, and then we're going to play the game live here. That's the play.
You are
We're going to do
very correct.
multiplayer. We're going to bring in as many as we can. We're going to fill it up. We're going to do that.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
That's the goal.
That's
Right.
the goal. Let's
And then
see what
as
happens.
we kind of transition, just for like a conversational topic here from the Jaxis, I think. Do you think all types of non-multiplayer games could be converted to multiplayer projects? Just I think in general, I think you see games that are like, wow, I never would have thought that that could be a multiplayer game. Like the first one that comes to mind for me is like a Supermassive Games. That's like choices matter, watch the narrative, and then they're like, yeah, here, you can do that multiplayer. What do you guys think? Are there any genres that don't allow themselves to be converted to a multiplayer game?
I think you all go first. I haven't thought
You have
about
thoughts?
it. But yeah.
I mean, the first one that comes to mind, is very narrative, story driven, like very linear games. But at the same time, you could still add some multiplayer co-op element to it. So I don't. You know what? No, like humans are so creative. I'm gonna say that no, like somebody somewhere is gonna find like a good idea, like a good mechanic to add, or an older mechanic and mix it in. So no, I'm gonna say no.
I have a game that you can't convert to network. It's Solitaire. Solitaire is a solitary game.
I think multiplayer solitaire would be so fun.
I can almost guarantee you that exists somewhere.
I mean, yeah, there is. I'm just being
Like Tetris 99, something like that, like where people
Yeah.
like compete, like
Yeah.
something like Solitaire 99 or something like that.
oh my god.
That'd be cool.
Now,
That sounds fun. Okay, sorry. I'm not going to start that argument.
and to be fair, I do agree with Hunter Tank though. If you want multiplayer, you should probably architect your game for multiplayer from the jump, right? And I
Yep.
want to call that out that this stream was not built to be like, this is the optimal way to do things, because we knew what we were doing was not the best idea. Like Esteban told us all last year, hey, you should absolutely start with multiplayer, but we didn't. And so now we're like, yo, we're going to go ahead and just do this thing to show the differences in approach and what we have to change and build, right? This is a learning idea. But back to the point of, I think any game can be multiplayer because, like, as an example, my wife and I, every Christmas Eve, we play, what's the horror game? Until Dawn. We play Until Dawn every Christmas Eve, and we just pass the controller back and forth.
Yep.
Nice.
So I think
Supermassive
you
games. Some of my favorites,
Great
honestly.
could. Okay. So yeah, I think any game can be converted. Is converting a game hard? I
Yeah.
mean, look at this is, this is a small game, and we've probably put about 45 hours into it, I would say, of conversion time. So, it definitely takes work.
Yeah,
You guys are working hard for
it's
it.
fun. It's been an awesome
Fun.
learning experience, to be honest. Indeed.
They're carrying us, so I will say.
Luis, that's going to be on my tombstone. It's not the right way, but you could do it like this. It's going to be like, that is like the story of my life.
Oh,
All right. I feel like we're ready. I'm sorry to derail us before we could really get the train on the tracks here, but let's get it done.
Nice. All right. So one of the cool things about this, Thomas, I believe I'm controlling.
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
You're in charge of
So,
Unity 6, my
one
guy.
of- One of the cool things is like when we say converting it to like or transferring over, it's just literally taking the same project and just changing the Unity version after installing Unity 6. So like
We actually didn't have to I didn't have to fix
Ex-
any classes, any imports. It just worked, which is kind of wild.
heck yeah. Like everything like just work
I'll
out of the
shout
bat
out
like
you for-
locally. It's so cool.
yeah, I'll shout out you for like old packages, but they still work in Unity 6. So.
Yep.
Exactly. All right. So our current goal is to actually take this online. Now, the traditional way that you would do it is like when you're creating a new Unity project. Right now, the Unity Hub gives you an option to like connect it to the Unity Cloud. But since this project, when it was made, it wasn't made with that. But that's more than okay. Like the team that is working on this can actually get together. Like somebody can create a Unity Cloud account on there and on the web browser, and then invite the users. So the first thing that we're going to do is that we are going to have to link up this editor project into to use the Unity Cloud.
Ooh,
So
exciting.
let's see the way that you do this is that you go to edit and into the project settings, And
while you're doing this, Esteban, you
Yeah.
do it first. Then we don't mean to jump the gun, but you set up the project, the base project for cloud. Then we link into it, right?
exactly. So whoever
Cool.
whoever makes the organization and the project, then they need to invite everybody, and you can just do it like through the cloud by just adding their email. They're using email, they respond to the invite, and boom, they can be added as a user. So let's go ahead and grab in a new link. Now I will say beforehand, yes, we do have an organization, and we did create a project just to speed things up a little bit. But you are like seeing the process like as you were if you were trying this on your own. So we're gonna select an organization, and we have this Unity Developer Relations organization. And
Hey, that's us.
Yeah.
Oh,
definitely. And then
totally wasn't
gonna-
scripted.
Ooh. All right, let's refresh the list of projects. That should definitely be here. Oh, okay.
I'm getting an error about parameters.
Yeah,
Do I need
like-
to?
All right, that's kind of weird. Let's try again.
The risk of doing things live.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Or do you think it's because we already have it up and on the cloud? Because I got the invite earlier.
No, because this is a separate.
Oh,
This is a separate list here. Yeah.
Okay.
Huh.
Okay.
That okay. No, that's super weird. Let me you know what, Thomas? Let me go ahead on my end. Make sure go back on my end.
Okay.
Make
Cool.
sure that it. Can you try and going into a Unity Cloud project to like make sure you can
Ooh,
access it?
I just got an insufficient
Ooh.
permissions. I must be the owner or manager to create projects. Oh, that's because I did the new thing.
Oh.
Let's go to the package manager. What do you want me to check here?
To see if you can access, that no, not the package manager, the actually, beforehand, one thing that we can do, well, I'll go ahead and check this real quick, is that we can go ahead and install the packages that we're going to need. So if you go ahead, I see that you already have the enable pre-release packages available. Can you show them to the folks real quick, like that setting that you need to turn on?
To enable
go to,
pre-release? Sure.
Yeah.
It's project settings, right?
Yeah.
Now I've got to remember how to enable pre-release. I'll just search. Because it has been a minute, and I think they moved it in Unity 6, didn't they?
It has. It should. No. Go to package manager real quick, and when you see on those three little dots, no, the one below. There we go. It goes
There
to
it
project
is.
settings, and then bang.
And then show
So-
release package versions, and then there should be enable pre-release, right?
Yeah, and so for folks watching, this will not be enabled by default. So you need to turn it on, and then you will be able to search for the necessary packages that we'll use. So let's go ahead and close that. And Thomas, search for multiplayer.
Okay.
To see what happens.
All right. So we got some multiplayer stuff. We have the center, we have the play mode, we have services, we have tools, and we have widgets.
Okay. So some of you might have seen like a previous webinar or other presentations where we go and show and install the multiplayer center and those packages like as if you were starting your multiplayer project. But since we already know the kind of experience that we want to make, the packages that we're going to install, Thomas, let's start with multiplayer widgets.
Okay.
Install that. And I can see on my end, and I and I really hope that this isn't the case. I cannot reach cloud.unity.com right now.
Oh no.
Here, let me test on mine too. There's a spoiler. I also have it on my end, so let me test
All
on
right.
mine. Here we go.
Which could be why the project.
Yeah,
was
we're
just
gonna do this awesome. We're gonna do this awesome project. Internet. No, you're not.
You guys are stressing me out right now, internet.
You're fine.
All right, so I was able to reach one of the organizations on my,
All
but
right,
just
cool.
straight up going into cloud.unity.com like didn't work. But I have the cloud on my end.
All right.
Okay,
Cool.
so projects. I am in the right organization. Let's check live stream.
Hunter Tank calling out the joys of doing it live. And we've seen this over the last 4 streams. And I know I've applauded you guys for doing things live in front of an audience because it ramps up the stress. Live coding seems impossible to me. And the fact that you guys are doing it and have done it for 4.5 streams now is impressive. But what I love about it, of course, is the opportunity for communal problem solving. You are all brave souls, and I respect you all. I need you to know that.
Thank you, Jackson.
Do we need any other? I've got widgets installed. Do I need the center?
So the cool thing is that after you install the widgets, we're going to be install the multiplayer services. Those are the very new services that we're going to use later to connect online. But let's also install the multiplayer play mode tool.
Oh, that's right. And I can show that off. So this is under multiplayer tools, right? Oh no, play mode.
No, play mode.
All right, Joe. I'm so excited to show you all this because this solves a problem we've been experiencing for 4 weeks. And there were other tools recommended that we didn't download and implement, but now we got this. So
yeah. You can just download play mode standalone, right, without the widgets. Is that okay?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, that's like they're isolated.
All right. If I lag, it's because I'm installing play mode on my end too.
Okay. Cool.
So now you can go ahead. All right. So Thomas, I definitely see that like netcheck_livestream. That should be. It's a thing. I was able to reach on it online.
Okay. So I should go to project settings again.
Yeah.
Oop. I always get project settings and preferences.
Silly question. You are connected to your work email, right? In the Unity editor.
I should be signed in as myself. Yes. Let me actually validate that because now you got me sweating.
Honestly, if it's that easy, that's a simple solution. That makes me feel good.
All right,
That's
yeah.
what
Let me just click on account settings and see what it signs me in as really quick. Yes, I am signed into my Unity email. So yes.
Same here.
Okay. So we're doing this under services.
Yeah, services, and it should be try to refresh access. Although no, it hasn't been linked. So no, new link.
Project.
And same thing. So organizations should be that should be the one. Why are you not doing this? Okay.
Here, I'm trying to set it on mine too.
Yeah. I'm gonna set it on my own as well.
Okay. Try sending it on yours and pushing it through to see if I can get it that way.
And then Cloud Project is NetCheck live stream, right?
Yeah. Do you have access to it? Is it just me that doesn't have access?
All right, I'm linking.
Crimson Media Production says, has it been authenticated? I don't know if that's an important step or if it's helpful in any way, but I want to get it out into the room.
I should be signed in already because I can see the organization, right? So this is the authentication layer here, and I go to... I'm going to just check really fast to see if I go to like...
See if you can if you can find other projects in other organizations, for example.
Yeah, it's working on shared. It's just not letting me see it on the dev relations.
So after you're finished, it should give you a project ID, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I have a project ID.
You should be a user. And okay.
Should I go to my dashboard and see what I'm doing? Let's go to my dashboard.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, let's show people that as well.
Should I show the dashboard?
Yeah.
All right, y'all. The dashboard.
Dum dum dum.
Who's that? Oh, they're gone. Don't worry about them.
Is that you? I'm like, you just started? We already put you in a video? That's cool. All right, so
That'd be fun.
I need to go to my organizations first, right? So let me flip over to my organization, skip tour. Sure, I'll accept your cookies.
Nom, nom, nom.
Nom, 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 nom. Boop. No ad revenue. All right, let's see.
Oh.
I see NetCheck live stream right here, right?
Heck yeah. That should be that.
Project members. I'm just making sure I'm listed here. I assume, yeah, I'm a user. Now, Kirk is also a user. Yeah, so that should be fine.
Yeah, that should indeed be fine. So that is super weird.
All right.
All right, so what if y'all connected and then I'll just try to pull the data from your connection? Can we do that? I'm going to try
on my end.
When in doubt, make admin. Yeah, you could make me an admin and see what happens.
I'm trying. I'm trying on my end. Organization settings.
Insufficient permissions. That's only when I try to create.
Yeah.
My when in doubt saying is when in doubt, RM space dash RF. Restart.
I mean, we could restart the editor.
Yeah.
Oh no. I meant to
That's
delete
my
the whole project.
suggestion. That's always the power cycle. Ooh, did you try turning it off, turning it back on again?
You know what? Let's give it. Let's do that just in case, just for safety. Stare into the darkness of my black background.
Hmm.
Look at that 6. That looks like the future to me.
Mm-hmm. Look at it.
So cool.
Only in the future do numbers come out of cubes.
Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. The future's almost here.
Edit. I am signed in. Perfect. Edit.
I'm the
Project
construct.
settings. Authentication. Select org. DevRel. There's an error.
There was an error.
Ooh.
At least
Make
it's
sure
Why?
you're
Make sure-
online and logged in.
Or yeah.
What if we
mean-
log you out, log you back in? Maybe
Oh,
that's
there we
the
go.
power
There we
cycle.
go. There we go. There we go.
Oh, we're there?
DevRel. Yeah, it signed me out and signed me back in.
You know what, Thomas? Since you have an organization, like, is there one of the organizations that you have access and you can create a project? Ooh.
Maybe.
Yeah, because honestly, the other option is that you go ahead and like we can create a new project. You add me as a user and we invert it
Okay.
around.
Done. I just did it.
Yep.
So identity providers, I don't want to worry about that. So I just created the project here, and did she show me the screen, right, Esteban?
Yep. So that's the authentication one. The services one, if you go to the main services thing, so that should be good. Food-based game dev, yeah.
Okay. So now I
if-
just need to add you fellas, right?
Exactly. Now, but I think you need to do that through the dashboard.
All right.
Don't
let's
add
do
me.
it.
I can't be trusted.
Let me switch orgs really quick because I am
Is
in
that
the.
Oh, go ahead. I was gonna say, is it bad that we have different project IDs?
Well, you're gonna get the project ID from me shortly when I add you to my
Yeah.
org.
Uh,
All right. So I've got my dashboard. I've got my projects. Food-based game dev is the name of the project.
Mhm.
And then I need to go to project members and add project
Yeah.
members. I'm gonna do this off stream. I guess I don't know if you guys want your emails like live or not.
oh, they're just our work emails. Like,
That was good, though. That was quick. I don't know though. I feel like putting out your any form of personal email, work or otherwise, live
right.
on the internet is a dangerous thing.
Okay, so you have you're gonna be safety admins on multiplayer. I don't know what that means.
we just
But
know it's
you're
very
welcome.
safe.
Okay, you should have invites from me now.
All right. Going into.
All right,
I see my invite.
I'm going into mine.
Crimson is making accusations that Thomas uses Mac Daddy at Unity 3D time.
You know, it took me a year and a half to get the IT team to give me that alias, but it
Yeah.
was sick.
I have heard that many years ago that you could just change your title in Unity within the organization to whatever you want. Apparently that used to be the cowboy status. What would you change your title to, team?
That sounds like somebody actually changed their title to cowboy for some reason.
I probably did at some point. Is safety admin your new official title within the
Safety
org?
admin.
I'm gonna find where we get our what do you call it?
So I can send you the project ID if you need it, but you should be able to now go into services and link from this organization now.
So, what is the organization name, Thomas, again?
It's Thomas-Winkley. It's just my first dash
Alright.
last name. It's real fancy.
Real fancy indeed.
Bull says, I hope this email finds you well.
You're gonna get a bunch of those now, Kirk. Thomas just threw.
Well,
I
then-
love that. I love that meme that's like how this email actually finds me and the person's like screaming.
Well then, sir, I was able to find your project and link it in my editor. So
Let's
thank you.
go.
Are
Kirk,
we
you
on
in
our
there?
way?
I'll come in. Food-based game dev.
Food-based game dev.
Link Unity project to cloud project. Coming.
I think Luis just gave you a new nickname, Thomas. Because
Call
you
me
went with
Dash.
Thomas Dash Winkley. We'll just call you Dash from now on.
If you saw my physical size, you'd be like, there's no way this man moves quick.
How tall are you, Thomas?
How tall are we?
I'm 5'11". I'm just short of 6.
I'm
nice.
6.
Nice.
I'm an American 6 foot.
We round up.
We round up in
That's
America.
I'm a tall Filipino.
What's up, Aya? Welcome on in.
Oh,
What up,
Aya's here.
Aya?
Back.
Hello.
Yo, speaking of dope videos, Aya
Thanks
just released the dopeness.
Yeah.
What was Aya's
Aya's
last video?
So Aya's video is making a game in 4 days, and it was
Whoa.
Aya and somebody who had never made a game before. Aya actually made a multiplayer shooter.
Yeah.
It was
Nice.
super sick.
It's Jake, right? Your friend Jake.
Mhm.
It was
It was
such
his
good
friend Jake.
storytelling.
It's a great video.
Yeah.
I don't want to say that we inspired them with our multiplayer in a short succession thing, but maybe.
Maybe. All right.
Maybe.
So, what do we do now, Esteban?
All right. So,
Actually, you
You
can
wanna-
drive again if you want.
yeah. So next thing we need to do, like we have our packages installed, we have the services. You want to show them the play mode tool real quick? You know,
Yeah.
show them.
I don't know how to open it, but you can show me.
So go into window.
Okay.
And go. There should be a section called multiplayer, and look at that multiplayer play
Oh
mode.
my goodness.
And folks, so do you all remember that we were having to create a new build every time? No longer. Now you can have virtual players, makes like a copy of your project, and it simulates like if there's another player joining in. So click on the let's click on that player too.
And we're gonna let this process, right? So this actually
Yeah.
builds out our multiplayer networks player.
It creates a very focused copy. Like it's just like the game window and the console, and that's it. So if anybody has used Parallel Sync before, it's a tool that, with a very similar result. It's just that Parallel Sync creates like an entire copy of the entire project, and you know that's like with pros and cons because you can like fully edit the project, whereas this one it's a little bit quicker. And it's a little bit quicker, and it does create a copy, but you cannot edit on that. It's just for like a separate playtester. But you can add up to 3 more players. It's really cool.
Okay, it
Right.
looks like it's done. The UI is a little bit overlappy. We'll just drag that out. There we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's active and ready. So now hit play.
Now you should have another window somewhere.
No. Yep, right there, player 2.
Nice.
Oh,
Look at that.
nice.
So now we got player 2. Let's scale it up a little baby bit. And we'll drop the console down a bit. Okay. So now I can just hit play here and it'll run both.
Exactly. It's
Okay.
one of
Let's check it out, kids.
How are you feeling right now? Excited? Nervous?
Nervous.
Okay.
All right.
nervous and excited.
All right. This is
We
the
got
host.
So this is
Where's player 2? All the way over here in this alt tab. This is going to be a client.
check it out.
We did
Y'all, we are testing locally. Let's see if the states sync.
it.
People, this saves so much iteration time. Like
Yeah, it does.
from her
Uh-huh.
from first-hand experience, I can tell like this is one of and this is I think this is just kind of like the tip of the iceberg of updates for multiplayer stuff. But
Notice the waves are syncing. The waves are syncing.
Enemies get respawned. Bam.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
that saves
just
so
like
much
that.
time.
And
so
then
you don't
when I
have to
close
build
play
in
mode,
between.
It automatically shuts down player 2, right? It does. Wow.
Dude, and the cool thing is like although I don't think we're gonna show this now, but like if we were to go ahead and like proceed like developing and making changes, the cool thing is that the window automatically updates when you every time you save the scene, and it's so cool. And obviously when you play them, it plays in the updated state. So
Yeah.
oh man. All right,
Nice.
but
How sick is that? Sorry, that like I just think of how many times we hit build run and then sat here and just like
Just waited.
had conversations, and now we can just do this. Anyway, that's cool. Okay, I'm gonna close player 2 for now.
okay.
Um,
Now, so the next thing we need is that we're gonna have to add it because if our goal is to connect to the internet, that means that we need to manage a session, a network session, make a remote connection so that people can join it online, and we need some UI to help us do that, right?
Right.
The cool thing is that little package that we installed, the widgets, helps us do that. So Thomas, let me go ahead and I'm gonna go back to Parsec and do this real quick. So let's go into the scene. Where is the UI? And boop, 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 boop. Okay. So for now, gonna go ahead and disable these 3 buttons. So
Okay.
Nice.
just disable them for now, because what we're gonna be adding here is those widgets. So you can go ahead and right click, and as you can see, multiplayer widgets. This is a new section. I right click on this object. So I'm going to insert like a new game object, but it's going to be parented. It's going to be a children of network UI canvas.
Okay.
So when we go into the section multiplayer widgets, we have create, join and leave, and information about the session.
Wow.
So let's go ahead and add this little button right here, and maybe add it over here.
Yeah, that'll work.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not interfering with the gameplay. So far so good. What else we need? Like I think we need to be
Join
able
and
to
leave.
leave a session, right? If you want it. So
Sure.
go ahead and
I don't know. I feel like this is the type of game, once you join,
you're never
you
gonna leave.
can't leave. This is the Hotel California of
This is
games.
not
Never
Sword Art
leave.
Online.
Oh my gosh. That was a terrible guitar solo. I apologize, y'all.
Wasn't
I'll
it?
work on that. Oof, I'll work on that.
Look, Hotel California is the new Stairway to Heaven at Guitar Center.
Is it?
Yeah,
Oh
you
no.
can't, you can't play it
Oh.
anymore.
Do they have
Oh,
signs?
it's like the Stairway to Heaven now.
Yeah,
Denied.
it's one of the it was
Rejected.
voted one of the weirdest songs.
Band songs.
Yeah, band song.
I imagine working at like a guitar shop where people can live test amps would make you hate certain music very much.
Oh, very quickly, I bet.
Dude, I bring like a little amplifier that you can plug into to the guitar, and then you connect it to headphones, and I bring the headphones to the guitar store. If I'm gonna wail around and just make noise,
Very
I'd rather be
considerate.
me the one that I'm listening to it.
Respectful.
Very considerate. And then what you can also do is just like rock out like you're incredible, even if you're not, because no one can
Yeah,
even hear it.
All right, so we're adding join session by code, right?
Yeah,
Because what's
we're
going to happen
joining-
is when we create, it's going to give us a code. We're going to have to share that code to everybody.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to pop that code, and then that'll let them join. Is that kind of the flow we're doing with these menu items?
That is definitely the flow. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this. Now, I will say I am now I'm kind of nervous, but at the same time excited because we just created a new organization. So that means that if people that are maybe familiar with this, in the past we needed to go into the cloud and enable the services that we're gonna use one by one, like like lobby, relay. But if I'm not mistaken, these handle them automatically. But if not, we can go to the dashboard and enable them.
Okay.
So the cool thing is like remember that the play mode tools are like, you know, you can go ahead and edit the scene. Like what's the other window? Can you help me bring it up?
Yeah,
a
what do you
little
want me to do here? What window are you looking for? The play mode
bit?
tools?
The second player.
Oh, I closed it. So we need to go back to multiplayer play mode. How do I reactivate this window?
Focus on player, if I'm not mistaken.
There you go.
Hey, there we go.
There you go.
And as you can see, check it out.
It's already there.
It's already there.
Nice.
Already updated. So now we can go ahead and play.
Oh, snap.
And this is gonna this works right out of the back. It's like this is gonna be even cooler because we live just created a new organization.
Yep. So you're gonna create the session.
Yeah, let's go ahead and create a session right here. Let's call it like session 1. Looks kind of blurry, but trust me, that says session 1. Gonna go ahead and
Trust
create
me.
a session.
Trust me. Would I lie
And-
to you?
Where's the?
And-
Oh, dude, I forgot to put the show
we
the session code.
That's okay. You can
Sorry
make
about
it.
that. Yeah. So let's go ahead and add multiplayer widgets, join and leave. Join session by code. What it? Oh,
Yeah, show session code.
code.
That's
There we
important.
go.
yeah.
Make sure you scoot that buddy over.
Definitely. So save the scene. Make sure.
These buttons are so perfectly lined up. It's wonderful.
I know. It's activated a piece of my brain that.
Oh
That's
man. So yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead. Quick
Quick join.
join.
Okay.
Just to do
There's
it.
our
So,
code.
so you can create a session and just give it like a proper name, but then you can just like quick join. So
Dang.
I'm gonna copy this and sorry Thomas, can you?
I
help
got
me
you,
bring
brother.
up
I
the
got
other
you,
player?
brother. No one shall stop me from alt tabbing for my friend
I think
Esteban.
we have the God mode. It's
Oh my
perfect.
god! And then if I paste and join,
Come on.
Come on.
Come on.
You're in there.
look at that! No! Oh my god! It's synchronizing.
Feels good.
People,
Can I
this
put
is
the name?
like this is over internet already. This is over internet.
I'm gonna
It's
be
just
honest. if
Like-
you told me like, hey, here's what we're trying to accomplish, I would have anticipated this took way
You're out of ammo.
longer.
Push one to switch ammo. Push one to switch ammo.
True.
You're out of ammo.
Switch
There you
ammo.
go. Now you got pies. Throw the pies.
Ah, take that.
I still.
That happened
Oh my god.
quickly.
And people, that's it. Like this actually saved us hours of work. Like
Yeah.
that you had to do beforehand. That's one of the coolest things about it. And Thomas, go ahead and pause. Can we go over real quick? Can you show the Unity dashboard real quick, Thomas?
Of course.
Because we can now. I want to show the chat like so that they can see the project and they
let
can
me
see like the services
switch
activated.
to the right one. Here we go. Okay. So
All
so project here, right?
Yep. And if you search in there we go. I forgot.
I turn on
so
No, it's right here in your services list though.
yeah. Oh my god. So in the last hour, we have sent
Hey, we have some.
almost 200 kilobytes of data.
Dang, that's so much internet.
But how much? But how much ad revenue still?
We're still broke.
Unfortunately-
We're still poor.
unfortunately zero.
Yeah.
We just dude,
We're gonna have
the
to
game
shutter
just
the
started.
studio.
Hey, can you show me that project ID one more time? 'Cause I was
Check it
trying
out.
Well,
Look
no,
at
what'll
the
happen,
amount.
Kirk, is we'll push to GitHub and then you can just pull and you'll be ready to
yeah.
go.
Okay. I'm too
Yeah,
excited. I'm too
yeah.
excited. I'm sorry.
And people, as you can see, like this is already like requested, like make the lobbies and people to join.
Wow.
Like this is already the project working over internet. Like
Aren't
this
y'all so excited for next month or 3 weeks from now?
See Unite to see Esteban's new workshops.
Ooh.
Yeah.
and Jackson's live stream, so man, that's gonna be cool.
Okay.
They're
gonna be
also
fun.
going to be recorded, right?
I think some of them, yeah.
Yeah,
The talks or the live streams?
the
The talks. My talk. I know my talk is because I'm putting budget towards doing that. So
Yeah.
because I'm
Mine as
vain and I
well, if
want
I'm
to
a
save all
mistake.
my stuff for Progeny. So
Well,
we're not actually going to publish it on YouTube. I'm just going to watch it by myself when I'm sad.
That's a good way. Everyone has those videos.
Do you ever do that, Esteban? Just go back and watch your old talks when you're sad? Make yourself feel
If-
better?
no, what is this?
Feels like a loaded question.
No, they make me sadder, dude. That unfortunately.
So the next thing we want to do is play with everybody, right? Can we try playing across the oceans, across the waters? Well, I guess we're all in the same
Let's definitely
same
try
continent,
this. So
but
Yeah,
Alright.
across the United States
all
of
right, let
America.
me push this on
Alright, so-
GitHub really quick.
I'm in Canada. So.
going out of
We'll go
focus.
across the border.
Give me your
Across the
control,
border,
Thomas. I have it
Updated
on my end.
updated netcode connection with relay.
across the north side of
This
America.
has relay, baby.
And
Commit.
the cool thing is, like, remember that multiplayer
Push.
services package that came with the widgets?
Mhm.
That services SDK, that's the one that has the lobby, the relay, the and had other services as well. Like it's all them just in one solution. Like
Now,
instead of having them all independent.
for Jackson, we need to make you an actual build because you do not have
Yeah.
Unity installed. So I'm going to make you a build really fast while everybody pulls down the GitHub. I did commit, so we
Oh.
should be good.
All right, I'm pulling.
Let me
Nice.
just make a new
Pulling.
folder and call it builds.
So is
And
there a maximum number of players we can connect to our game?
At the moment, 4.
I don't think there, but
If
there's no code preventing more than 4 though.
No, but the widgets, they actually come with like a little configuration file.
Oh, okay.
And they there you can like set the kind of connection mode. It can be direct, so connecting directly to a particular IP or over relay. And in that configuration file, you can set the maximum of connections.
Ooh, I like this question while we talk about while I'm finishing this build. Oh, I might have already finished. That was quick. Let's go fat. Oh, no, it didn't. Do you guys prefer many small scripts that specialize or larger general scripts?
That's a very good question.
Depends.
Yeah.
I would say it depends as well. Like
I think-
because yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, you first. You first.
Well, thank you. I would say that a lot of the times the reason why I make smaller scripts is because if I'm making samples to teach people about something, I prefer having small scripts that people can just easily read, understand, and then move on to the next thing. So like, if you see some of my samples, like movement of a character, I might actually separate shooting, instantiating, or shooting a bullet or something in a separate script from the movement, because I want people to like be able to like easily understand this is how you instantiate, this is how you move. But that on a production ready game, that's not necessarily the best thing to do.
I think it's also worth noting like what you consider to be a small script. Like to me,
Exactly.
when scripts are over like 200 plus lines, I start to get a little worried. But that's just a me thing. Like, I don't know if there's like a rule about it. What do you prefer, namespaces or singleton? I've generally just done singletons, but okay. Should we test the build locally to see if it works really quick since we have it?
Yeah.
All right, hold on. We're just gonna test, and then I'll zip up the build and send it over to you, Jackson.
I'm ready.
It's loading. I'm just running it right here. Thank you for pulling up Visual Studio for me.
Important.
Loading, 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 loading. Okay.
Joshua Smith is on the side of small specialized scripts. Thank you for your share.
All right, so I'm gonna create from the client, from the build. So we'll just do quick join, right?
Yeah.
That should give me a code. Copy the code, paste it into here. Join. Bros, it just works. Bros, it just works.
We love it.
I don't think y'all understand that in January when we said we would do this, I was terrified.
It's been an emotional journey. Like, there's been a lot of problem solving done on the spot, a lot of high stress situations, but you guys all remained cool. You remained dedicated to the task. And now look at us at the finish line, feeling fancy.
Let me zip up this project for you, Jackson. And I might need you to DM me like an email I can share it to, because I'm not on my work desktop. So I'm going to have to Google Drive it to you, I think is probably the safest way to do this. Let me just go to my PC really fast. Kirk, Esteban, how y'all doing? You got your stuff updated?
I already fetched. I have the latest version, so I'm good. I'm ready.
Okay, let me just compress the zip real quick.
I'm
You're on a Windows PC, right, Jackson?
Yes.
Okay. Whew. I was like, wait, I didn't do a Mac build. Okay.
I just installed that one convert to Unity 6 branch, right?
Mm-hmm. Same branch.
Cool.
Let me go to my Google Drive real quick.
Cool.
Uploading.
Reopening my.
All right, so let's do share. Anyone with the link? Copy link. Stream chat. Link is ready for you, Jackson.
Ready to go.
So just download, unzip, and then we should be ready to go. So for mine, I'm going to turn off the virtual stuff. So multiplayer mode. I just need to turn off player 2, right?
You don't need to, but yeah, we don't need it anymore for now.
Yeah, just in case my PC decides that running 2 builds of the game and sending my camera to the internet's a bad idea.
I'm already lagging behind in our production stream. Like, it's probably fine on yours ends, but
yeah. And actually, you know what? Just for safety, I'm gonna kick you from Parsec as well, Esteban.
Oh, go for it.
Get out of my Parsec. All right, you've been booted.
No.
Get out of my Parsec, you kids.
All right. I have unzipped. I think I might be ready to go here. You tell me when to do.
All right, so double click. So there should be a file called foodbasegamedev.exe.
I'm in.
Run it. You got the client up?
Let me see here. Loading.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Right. Everybody play the game. I will create a session.
Sure. This is WASD, right?
Yeah, WASD, and then 1 is to toggle weapons, and then spacebar to fire.
Okay.
All right, quick join. Here comes the code to you all.
I'm ready.
Dropping it in chat. It's all caps. It is case sensitive. Oh, I don't want to upload a file. I want to send this.
Got
6.
it.
Join.
Oh my God, player 2's in.
Look at that. I'm here.
Player 3's in.
Oh!
Where's player 4? Where's player 4?
How do I fire?
Why are you compiling?
Spacebar.
I'm player 3, and I'll be honest, the sound of the zombies for the first time is jarring.
It's so loud.
Very alarming. How do I load up?
Like that.
Is that Thomas doing that?
Oh, hold
Got
F. Hit F by the food thing.
How do I switch?
1 to switch ammo, and then F at the tables to load up.
Oh, I see.
The zombies on spawn. I don't think that we're putting out the audio to the stream, but it is.
I can. Do you want me to
stressful.
I'll turn sound back on. Hold on. Let me turn sound back on. All right, sound is out to the stream now.
Do we want it to be?
Are we missing? We're missing player 4. Where's Esteban?
I'm joining. I'm playing this. Unity was compiling scripts, so.
Oh, got it.
Probably
all of a
tutorial.
sudden, it's like, dude, come on, let me play the game.
I might not have the right audio shared. Sorry, y'all. Oh my god, there's so many zombies.
There's so
All right,
many
I gotta
zombies.
turn the sound back off. It's hurting my ears.
Here, I'm on
Now-
the right side.
I got an error saying too many requests.
Oh no! All right.
All right,
Should
I'm
we restart?
firing.
Should we restart?
You wanna
Yeah, yeah.
restart?
All right. I'm turning
All
off
right.
my session.
Okay, cool.
The
Jackson,
zombies
you'll
are
have to close the app and reload the app.
Oh.
I will. Could I just leave session and then join new session?
Oh, probably. Yeah, actually.
Woo!
That was
Let's get it
hilarious.
going.
I wish the stream could have heard all the zombies.
Honestly, it was louder than your voices. If you gave
It's
me
so
any
loud.
key
It's super
instruction
loud.
in that moment, I wouldn't have been able to hear
Alright.
it or do anything.
We're gonna call this net check, capital N, capital C, and we're gonna create the session.
Okay.
Ooh,
Got the
okay.
code. Dropping the code to chat.
Capital N, capital C.
No, the code is WKWJNT. Yeah, different code.
W. Hold on.
Aya says we can't hear the sound, but it seems like we
sorry.
may have been spared. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very loud. I need to balance the audio in this game. Like the skeletons are too quiet. The bambos are too quiet.
WKW.
I think you're right. I do
You
think
want
I
me to
need
do the
relaunch.
voiceovers for the
You'll
stream?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh.
I got player 2. I don't know who that is. Who's player 2?
It's just me and Thomas right now.
All right. We're holding it down. We're feeding the zombos.
Here, I'm in the bottom.
I'm
All right,
trying, but I
that's
feel I messed it up. Hold on a
Yo,
sec.
someone go mid lane. Someone go mid lane.
Mid lane.
Jungle. Jungle.
Juggle.
No.
All right, switching to pie.
I think I broke something. Hold on one sec.
Oh, they're coming for me.
Oh, Lord, they coming.
There they come.
Pizza Destructo Disc. Absolutely.
Get 'em.
Do people even want to get into food fights nowadays? I feel like that's such an antiquated thing.
I don't know if kids do that
Yeah.
anymore. Does anybody work in a school? Has your school had a food fight recently?
Yeah.
I really
Are these
need to know.
tacos?
Yeah, there's tacos, sandwiches, hot dogs,
Oh,
and pie. And actually, I should have shown that, but I actually had to rewrite the weapon system to toggle between weapons, and it was much cleaner now
Ooh.
because it's just toggling through an array of integers. It's just like flipping integers and like reaching into an array.
The sound of these these
oh.
zombies are hilarious.
Oh, I'm out of weapons. Oh.
I'm trying. I can't join.
I can't.
All right, so we got some join issues.
I keep getting
Oh, I'm in
like
now.
too
Sorry,
many
this zombie
requests.
scared me.
So Esteban's being blocked.
Yeah. Look,
Okay.
oh my god, the zombies are like, no, this is overkill. No, we cannot let another player. All right, try it again.
All right.
Zombie spawning is my new nightmare fuel.
I know.
Just
I'm out
the
of weapons.
sound.
Yeah, I think
Every time one appears on screen,
I'm gonna have dreams about the sound. I wish
It's-
the stream could hear it.
It's hard to hear, but when the vampire spawns, he goes tacos.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm lagging a little bit, but it's okay. Oh no.
we have God mode enabled, right? We can't.
Yeah, we
die?
can't.
Oh,
we
we can't
cannot
die.
die. Yeah,
Alright.
we don't have death in the game yet.
All right.
But it's working.
It's working. I mean, some UI stuff needs to update. We're not like setting a score, but we've
Alright,
got
guys.
weapon changing.
My mom said I need to go and help with dinner.
All right, go cook some dinner, Kirk.
Bye.
What are you cooking?
I have closed this session because, quite honestly, my brain was melting down.
Yeah,
with all
the
of
sound of the zombie is so.
Why do you think I've been streaming with the sound off? Like
Woo!
Whoever the sound-
Grateful.
whoever the sound designer, me, is should probably like balance that out a little bit.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was so funny.
I said earlier, audio balancing is a thankless job.
Yeah, I definitely didn't. I just threw sound effects in and said like, this is the game now.
I gotta say that it's a wonderful, I suppose, coincidence that you built a game that had zombies, and zombies are like some of my favorite things in general in media.
Wasn't that like a discussion that we had in the first or second episode?
It was, vampires, skellies, or zombies, which is your preference?
Mm.
All right, this vampire
wow,
wants a
that's
sandwich.
Yeah, I'm just gonna watch on stream.
So we got to wave 5. Obviously, we could go forever because you can't die.
Yeah. Cool.
But we had multiplayer working. So stuff we got to figure
Yeah.
out if we were to like troubleshoot is why Esteban could not connect for some reason. Can we try it real quick? Esteban, let's just try you and me connecting.
Actually, Thomas, real quick, before we do that, let's actually show something else.
'Kay.
So go to the go back into the scene view. So right click on the network UI canvas, and go to the widgets again. Multiplayer widgets on their UI toolkit. There we go. And go into join and leave. I believe that's what should be it. Session list. Add that.
All right.
Hmm.
All right, let's put this.
So if you add
know-
that, So we've been adding like the code and everything, but with this control, people can just open the game, refresh it, and they get a list of select it again.
Yeah.
That usually happens. Like it adds but you gotta select it again. And
Can I scale it down a little bit? I'm gonna scale it down just a tiny bit.
yes.
So we can create our own sessions then.
So you can create a session, and instead of like Kirk, here's the code. No, you log in and you refresh the list, and you just click on the session and join.
Nice.
Okay, we ready to test it?
Yeah.
I gotta push this though to everybody, right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh,
also,
yeah, definitely.
someone in chat asked in Twitch chat, do we do a stream in the future where we do this but in a MOBA?
We build a MOBA. Rafarnwa, I hope I got your name right, says it would be great to see topics like minions, experience, stats, turrets, and so on. I said that's a big project, but I know, Thomas, you were already making MOBA references. I know there's a level of passion there. It would definitely be a big project. I don't want to say anything's completely off the table in terms of these live streams, as we're always looking for what's new and exciting. It would be a good opportunity to highlight a lot of different systems. I can say with certainty, not soon.
And I can also say with certainty, you said there's a lot of passion there. Not for me. I actually don't like MOBAs.
Oh, it was satirical.
Yeah, I do not enjoy MOBAs in the least.
How about a fighting? How about a fighting game?
The amount of finesse that a fighting game requires from multiplayer netcode is not.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So basically, somebody actually asked us at the beginning of the stream, while y'all are updating, about like, hey, how are you going to handle determinism? And no, that's something about this game we need to take into consideration. All we're syncing is basically states and ideas. Yeah. We're not like trying to make sure impacts and synchronization are happening between two clients. So we aren't like really going after, like, we don't have any deterministic rollback as an example, or deterministic netcode here. We are not trying to predict where, and which is, you'll actually notice that in some of the things, like with the food spawning, there's a little bit of like a gap when the food spawns. It's because we're spawning it where the server thinks the character is at that moment, not where the server thinks the character will be, right? So we're not trying to determine that. Which would be another layer of complexity we're adding. So at this point, we're simply making the connections work, and we're spawning and instantiating and doing server size things. But if you're going to go into like a fighting game, and honestly, even with like a competitive MOBA, you would need to have that determinism in place, because where your opponent is and where damage and data is happening is incredibly important. And yeah, Crimson, you're absolutely right? You do a ping check and then frames per second, and then use that to figure out where things go and try to predict. But that's another layer we would have to add to this game.
Yeah.
In the future. Anyway, let me know if you guys are ready. But yeah, determinism is a whole other monster that we don't have put into this.
I am super ready.
All right. Let's hit play. Oh, you know what, Jackson, you can't participate in this part. I'm sorry, because I didn't make you a new build.
Oh no!
Fine, I didn't want to play.
But it would be fun to see if we share the code with him, and he can still join.
Oh,
That'd be dope.
That's actually a great idea. So still try to join.
Hold on, I'm pulling. I'm getting the last commit.
Okay. That sound, bro.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
You did it.
Is that your idle sound?
He did that to us in our free.
It's I don't. What is it?
You sound
I
like a
forgot what
Murloc.
movie. Huh?
You sound like kind of like a Murloc.
Yeah, kind of.
All right,
I
Chad, give us your
apologize
best
to the
Murloc.
internet and anyone watching this video. It's just a thing.
All right.
Reminded me of Zoidberg, like.
We have devolved into the portion of the live stream that's just sound effects. When I go back to chapter out the YouTube VOD, it's just going to be sound effects for the next 30 seconds.
If Kirk fixes, maybe presents.
Okay, I have launched a game. I just need code.
Okay, I'm as soon as Kirk's ready. Oh, someone asking, will this project be open source? I mean, like, I don't know the legal ramifications of Unity, but if you steal my code and use it, I wouldn't be upset. But I don't want to, like, I can't make that promise on behalf of the company, but I plan on leaving it as a public repo for people to look at. So
I'm in there, or I'm in the.
All right,
I gotta pull.
I'm gonna do a quick join. Copy the code, drop it in chat. If you can't read it on the screen, here y'all go.
So Rogo Thomas, if you hit refresh list on your sessions,
Oh no, the
now
button's off
it should
screen.
show up, and that way,
Oh my
now
god.
I can join
Jump
from
scare.
here,
Oh,
Oh, so you can just join right from there.
Yeah.
Are you in?
and I'm in.
Oh,
Nice.
Do we have Jackson?
I'm-
Can Jackson
I'm
be
in.
4 players.
Oh, we're all here. The game's all here. The game is all here.
Now, I thought of this strategic hack. There's
Uh-huh.
4 doors and there's 4 of us.
Yeah,
So
let's
we
do
just
it.
sit at the
Pick a door.
doors.
I'm taking
Alright.
bottom left. I got bot.
I got.
Top left.
All right. I
There
got.
you go.
I got
top,
bottom
yeah, I got
or top right.
Look at that wave too. This is speed running.
It's the most. We're the most efficient.
Oh no, mine didn't pop
Oh,
up
no.
at the door. Also, I need
I
hot
have
dogs.
horrible aim. My only weakness.
My only weakness: the need to aim.
Ah! Zombie jump me.
Oh no, I'm out of ammo. Don't forget you can switch ammo with the number 1, Kirk.
So the score and the hit points aren't going up yet, though, right?
Those are not incrementing. We're literally just not doing anything with those.
I am going to have a meltdown with these zombie sounds in my ears. I swear. I'm going to fall apart.
My new thing
that
is I'm just gonna
sandwich.
throw food. I'm just throwing food angrily at the door, and if they walk into it, it's their fault. There's like some stuff we need to fix too, because like the zombies aren't the zombie particles aren't always spawning where they need to spawn for some reason.
Yeah, mine isn't spawning at all.
Yeah, it is, but it's below the level.
Oh,
And I think it's because of the angle of the actual, like, of the level, because we're angling it down a little bit. I think it just needs to be bumped up and positioned a little bit.
got it.
Yo.
I just heard the vampire.
I heard
What
it.
does it say?
Tacos. That's just my voice with a bunch of reverb on it. I need to go clean all this up.
Nice. I'm totally getting tacos after this stream, though.
I actually am too. I'm getting birria tonight. I'm so excited. I'm getting
Nice,
birria and
nice.
then going to Lamb of God. It's gonna be a
Oh,
great
that's
night.
So good.
All right, that's about the amount of zombie sounds I can handle. I don't know if you saw me disconnect from the game real quick there. Oh, we found my threshold. We hit it. We
All
found
right,
it.
I'm gonna leave too. There's a lot of zombie sounds.
All right. I mean,
But-
we've done the thing, y'all.
We did the dang
Goal
thing.
achieved.
We set out 5 weeks ago with the question, can we convert a game to multiplayer in 4 weeks?
Everyone
The
should
answer was
clap.
no. It took 5, but we got it done. You guys
Did
worked
it.
hard on this. I got to give you guys massive props. This was very little of my doing. For full disclosure, Thomas and team pulled all of this together. They had it planned. I came on, I got hired as we were getting ready to build it. I said, cool, I'm just here to amplify it and give you guys the space. And you guys pulled it together. How are you feeling? Like, that was a massive accomplishment.
It was mostly Thomas.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I definitely spent, I mean, not to be that guy, but I definitely spent a lot of Fridays writing code and banging my head on my desk. Honestly, once Noel stepped in and helped us with that player controller, with the like, make sure only the owner player controller is enabled, all of the dev got really easy. Like that one piece, once that one piece came undone, the rest of it was actually pretty good. And then figuring out like, still sometimes, and Esteban, you can speak to this. We were having this conversation yesterday when we were testing the multiplayer and we were trying to write the player death stuff, which, by the way, the reason why that wasn't, I'm just going to say it out loud. The reason it wasn't working is because it was we were checking the distance between the zombie's selected target
Yeah.
and the zombie. But the selected target wasn't necessarily the player object standing next to the zombie. It was just the target it had chosen. And so, of course, it wouldn't die because the distance between the selected target and the zombie could be different. Does that make sense?
So
'Cause
for
the selected
it's like,
target is
that's
player
my
one.
target, although I'm following this dude.
But
Something
yeah,
like that?
so I'm following player 1, but player 2 is colliding with me. I don't care about player 2 because the distance between player 1 and the zombie, which is a selected target, is like 5. But the distance
Okay.
between player 2 and the zombie is less than 1. Of course, player 2 is not going to die because we were just checking the distance between player 1, not between player 2.
Oh, oh my god!
So that's why it wasn't working. We just
so
need
the
to go
code
in.
was basically like the code was like, dude, you could kill the other dude. He's actually closer. Like, so,
Yeah.
and the zombie was like, no, I need to chase this particular player
because he's only
Oh,
thinking
now
about the
I
one
see.
target. And in the selecting of a random player, I had count -1 in random.range, but random.range with integers is max exclusive. So it was only grabbing one player and it was always grabbing the first player
Oh no.
because it wasn't ever giving us that max number. So there was two little errors in there that we missed.
So we had to. So yes, indeed, we had to rely on colliders because even though it was chasing another player, if by coincidence it collides with another one, it's like, oh, okay, cool, free kill. Like,
Or just check the distance between the zombie and every player every time
exactly.
it updates. Yeah, exactly.
Or do that, yeah.
Yeah, yep, exactly. So that's what was wrong. Anyway, yeah, so it was a lot of, like, we learned a ton. I think, like, but the biggest challenge, again, was, okay, like, the zombies are server owned, the players are client owned, and starting to talk about those contexts of, like, well, if this happens on the server, we need to report this data back to the player, and, like, having those out loud conversations, was really, really, really good. And I agree with you, Crimson Media. We definitely shouldn't do that check every frame. That will not end well. So I think, again, like some kind of, like, I think, like, honestly, just going to a collision system is probably better. If it collides, send the message, call good. Anyway, but yeah, it was, I mean, 5 weeks of this, I think, from an original prototype, which is not multiplayer, and there's still stuff we need to get done. Pretty fun.
Good.
Pretty cool. And, like,
if you had to go back and start over, what would be one thing you would change about the process?
Thomas is probably going to be like less meetings.
Like,
no.
More people to help.
No, I think, I don't know that I mean, obviously, if I would have architected this for multiplayer from the jump.
Mm-hmm.
We've said that a lot, but I think realistically, like, that's the place. If we had architected this from the jump, we wouldn't have had to go through this whole conversion process. Because on top of building this out, we weren't just adding multiplayer, we also had to rewrite game systems. Or we were finding optimizations. So, like, as an example, here, I'll show you. If we cut to the, if we can show the editor. So if we go to the player controller here, so the way we had it set up last year is basically we had, like, scriptable objects of food, and they had, like, the weapons, the value, they all sat inside of a dictionary, and then we had a dictionary that could add or remove values, and that's how we referenced. So for this, we basically jumped in for the scripts, and we, inside the networked player controller, basically all we did was make a projectile index value that could be set and returned. And then literally when you toggle, let me see, find this real quick. So on the toggle function, it would literally just toggle through the projectile, right? So just go to the next projectile and then call this set projectile function, which basically just sets the HUD controller, toggles what the damages, what the icon is, and then what index you're on. So it just made it much cleaner. Instead of going through all these libraries and dictionaries, it was like, why don't we just go through an index, and the index can give us the information. And then we set the, if you go to the player, let's go to Standy. I also wouldn't have named Standy McStandenson. I would have given them, like, a name that made sense.
Yeah, I think names, and we don't have a name for the official title of the game either, do we?
Not yet. But so where isn't this on Standy? Didn't I put this on Standy?
actually, that was part of the conversation. No, because Thomas, we need to change from the point of view of Standy, because there's the replicated Standy and the server owns Standy. Like, we were having those real conversations. Like,
For real.
Oh my god.
Oh, where is my? Oh, here we go. My attack data. So then Standy has attack data, and the attack data. These are just this is just a class. It has a prefab, max ammo amount, and an icon, and then it's just using that data to basically pull information in and out. Which I got that idea from the way we used a struct in the network prefabs. So, like, this was a really nice optimization that we kind of cleaned up that removed, like, 5 scripts and some components. But again, I think, like, if we were doing multiplayer up front, this might have surfaced itself sooner. And then Stanley Kubrick's a good name. Holy hell. Sorry. Really not a big fan of Stanley's movies. Actually, some of them I really like. Anyway, but yeah, so I think that, like, some optimizations like that were really fun to find. I also think that, like, I would have, before this session, we didn't really agree on naming conventions like we did last year. And I think that caused some weirdness. Like, starting everything with networked was a bad idea.
I remember that. That was a fun discovery. I don't know if that was part 3 or part 4, where we were looking at all of the scripts and just like,
which one is
oh
which?
no.
Yeah, because they're all called networked something, right? And they should have been something _networked. Yeah, I don't know. That's a long rant, but I think there's a lot of stuff we could have done differently. And now I think the cool thing is, like, we learned so much about multiplayer in, like, 5 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think very cool to see the whole process for me as like a first timer. I know I went back to watch Scope Check to see you guys creating the first version of this game, but to kind of see it all happening live and being a part of those conversations. And I hope that you, the audience, the Unity community, found a great deal of value in this. I know that there's quite a few people that have been watching through this VOD. Maybe you're watching through the playlist yourself, but I learned a ton. I hope that you guys found some learnings and values and takeaway in this type of content as well. Go ahead, Thomas.
I would have started this project in Unity 6.
There we go.
After seeing how quick it was to test multiplayer. Anyway, I would have started in 6 preview. Yeah.
So quick. It was cool. I'm excited for people to get their hands on it and see, because that was exceptional. Again, like if you're like, hey, we have to add all of this like network and make it so that the game so other people can join, and like, oh, well, let's put in a code system. I would have been like, okay, well, I'll see you guys in another month. I guess we get another 4 parts, and it was like 20 minutes.
Yo, I gotta give a shout out to the bull. The Stanley parable.
The Stanley parable.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Perfect.
We also had people discussing, Thomas, you were giving a really heartfelt answer, and I was distracted because people were talking about moving from Esteban summer to Winkley winter, and I was like,
beautiful.
I was
name.
beside myself.
Beautiful.
It's my favorite season, to be honest. It's my favorite season, so it makes sense. Actually, fall.
Perfect. Cool. Is there anyone else who wants to share how they're feeling right now after this stressful adventure? this just like drawn out process. You were vulnerable. You were put live in front of an audience to make mistakes, to problem solve, to find the solutions. What do you think?
At least for me, like I had fun. Like honestly, this was fun to figure out the bugs, working through the bugs. You know, like I enjoyed the process. I learned myself a lot. Like I practiced a lot of stuff that I knew before, but and I solidified it and learned a lot of new stuff as well. Like this was a lot of fun. And again, shout out to the people making these tools.
For real.
Like they're the ones they're making us shine. Like so. And message to the chat if you like what you just saw, and like try them out and send over feedback to us, whether in our Discord channel or directly to us if you find us on LinkedIn, Twitter, or whatever. But feedback is incredibly appreciated. But overall, Jackson, to your overall question, super happy, honestly.
Great.
Happy to be part of this. Yeah.
Love that. Kirk, checking in with you before we wrap things up.
I'm good. I wasn't part of the first session scope check, but going through net check, it kind of reminds me of what Thomas was talking about, like what design decisions do you make from the beginning, and then if you don't make those decisions, how do you, like, we did it in fairly short time, like 5 hours plus whatever time Thomas put in, and then that was like 45 hours. So it is just like maybe a shout out to the community if they watch this video and they're like, oh, like I'm gonna try this too. Like this is kind of, you get to see the 5 hours on video, but maybe like a lot of the work outside of it, you don't get to see it. So yeah,
and take that into account. Like if you are struggling or you're working on something like this and you're like, well, I saw people on the internet doing this, like remember that like social media, YouTube, video stuff, you're only seeing the stuff we have prepared for you, right? Like we put time, but I don't want to break the magic, but like my biggest fear was coming live on this show and just like reading documentation live with all of you. We really, so like know that everybody that does this type of stuff puts a lot of effort in behind the scenes, and like you are going to have to put that effort in as well. So don't let that discourage you. Like count the small wins, because the small wins are what are going to push you forward as you build this kind of stuff.
It's worth saying Unity 6 is still in preview, and we've had a couple of people comment like, hey, I'm going to use this in production. This is good, right?
give it time. Let it launch officially.
Although it'll come out of preview in October. If I got my dates correct. And these packages that we just shown and everything, they're still in active development. So they're going to be being updated and everything.
Yeah. M Junior calling out, I'm so thankful for you guys presenting this to us. You guys rock. The Bull saying these have been some of my favorite game dev streams in quite some time. This is a great team and looking forward to more. Thank you guys very much. I want to give you guys a couple of opportunities to come and join us again in the near future here, lovely Unity community. Next Thursday, September the 5th, at 9 a.m. Pacific time. So the same start time as we've had, we will have a creator spotlight with a studio called Pigiyama Kasama, who have made a fantastic game called Kasama The Awakening. You can find that online. Please come and check that out. That will be my first creator spotlight. I'm very excited to sit down with the team who is very passionate to share what they did to help make this game possible. It is very cool looking. So come and check out that conversation once again on September the 5th at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And then the following week, Thomas, are you coming back? Are we going to do a little back to school special?
I think we are. I think we're going to play some games, some student-made games.
Give everybody
in
a little
couple of weeks.
inspiration. I think
Oh,
that'll be a
nice.
fun
For
time.
that?
What's that?
Am I part of that too?
Yeah, of course you are.
If you want to, sure.
Yeah.
Great.
Doing
We'll bring you
your
into the
eyebrows.
fold. We'll get everything happening. So those are a couple of opportunities for you to come back, both here on twitch.tv/Unity as well as on the official Unity YouTube channel. Come back and say hey at those moments. Of course, if you are at all able to join us in Barcelona for Unite, that will be happening in just a few weeks' time. It feels like it's coming out of nowhere. It's coming up quick, but we are very, very excited for it. We're going to wrap things up for you all here. A massive thank you for everybody, to each and every one of you, for being here, for hanging out. Even if you're watching this as a VOD, please drop a comment. Let us know what you liked, what you would like to see in the future. We really appreciate that feedback. It is a great thing. We are going to be raiding over on the Twitch side to Interconnect Studio. Stick around for that if you are at all able. A massive thank you to, again, Thomas, Kirk, and Esteban, and Joy for making this such a pleasant and exciting adventure. Thank you to Freeman working behind the scenes to make it happen, everybody. My name is Jackson. We'll see you next week. Take care, everyone.